mothers, fathers, grannies, granddaddies, uncles, aunties, random individual that's not related by blood, but you get called uncle or auntie, and various guardians all across the ethos. Come to the front of the class because it's another one of them ones where I test your resolve and see if you're a good person to be around kids or if you're just like the weird people I talk about from 5 to 8 minutes at a time. I, as a child, drastically hated going everywhere, and my mother and father knew it, but they brought me anyway because I was a child and I couldn't really make any decisions. But when I started to reach a certain age, 11 and 12, they started leaving me at home because they realized I wasn't talking to any of the other children, I wasn't talking to any of the adults, and I really wanted to go home and play Sly Cooper. So they just left me at home. They made sure that food was there, and they went to their extravagant parties while I sat at home watching The Lion King over and over and over again. Maybe on occasion, some Dave the Barbarian, because yes, I'm that old. And I was perfectly fine. It didn't affect me. I wasn't in danger. And if they ever went on some luxurious vacation, they made sure to have one of my uncles check on me periodically to make sure that I wasn't dead. I would argue a good tactic. I would argue responsible parenting, because you shouldn't be going out of state and leaving children unattended. I would argue that would make you, if you did that, a bad parent. And especially when your children know how to run their mouth and they go tell other people that they're being left at home, right? Because even though you try to teach your children not to talk to too many people about your personal life, they're going to do it anyway. The church knows about your infidelities with your wife/husband, and the wife/husband knows too. And you should probably do something about that before the divorce lawyer comes in. But besides the point, a mother decided to leave 2 7-year-old twins and a 10-year-old unattended for nobody to know about while she traveled. And it wasn't traveling quickly to the store. It wasn't traveling across the street, not even to the next door neighbor who's to the left or the right. She went to another state to watch her friend get liposuction surgery. And then, as the police were trying to figure out where the fuck she was at, she was claiming that, hey, I'm here, I'm somewhere, I'm not leaving them anywhere. They're properly attended to, and they weren't.
Did you want to say anything? No. You're going to make sure something like this doesn't happen again. Dominique Knowles had very little to say to the Fox 8i team after she was sentenced in Rocky River Municipal Court Wednesday on 2 counts of endangering children. Police say she left her young children home alone while she went to Florida February 21st through February 23rd. The judge said 2 of the children have special needs.
One of which had a full-time aide accompanying her in school.
During the hearing, Knowles vowed that something like this would never happen again. She told court officials she went to Florida to help a friend who was getting liposuction. She said she was paid $1,000 a day to go and help.
I did believe my kids was able to get up by themselves and properly dress themselves and get themselves to school. I didn't plan on them to be at home a whole 3 days like the media is saying. I didn't. Not trying, like he said, not trying to downplay it.
Rocky River Judge Joseph Burke sentenced Knowles to 360 days of house arrest, 5 years probation, and also ordered her to take parenting classes. Westlake Police body camera video obtained by the Fox 8i team shows officers checking on the 3 children. The 7-year-old twin girls and their 10-year-old sister were left home alone in the apartment back in February. Knowles was arrested shortly after she returned from the trip. Police and prosecutors tell us they learned the 3 girls were home alone after a teacher called police asking for a welfare check. A teacher told police that one of the children told her that they were left alone when her mother traveled out of state.
The judge wants to make sure that she cannot violate the law.
The prosecutor tells us the case was very troubling.
The teachers were stunned, frankly, because they've not seen this before. They really don't know what to do, and they did the right thing.
And it is now time for you to become the mother that your daughters deserve, need, and require.
The fucking cops found that the entire house was in disarray with unknown liquid piss all around. And this was not something that children should have been around. And their grandmother was lying for the lady too the whole time. And she gives this really shitty statement to the public as if to calm the fires. And oh, this is not me. This is not who I am. I would never put my kids in danger. You directly put your kids in danger because fuck, they're children. They're going to start touching things, and maybe there's a loose wire somewhere. They pull it and then they electrocute themselves. Maybe they put tinfoil in the microwave and the microwave blows up and they don't know what to do. Maybe something catches fire and they don't know how to work a fire extinguisher, and they don't know what to do in that scenario. You, by leaving those children unattended, put them in danger, and you are not a responsible parent. And I think the one person who hit the nail on the coffin was the judge when he said this. The issue here was not whether the two 7-year-olds were fed or clothed while their mother was in Florida. Rather, the issue is whether leaving two 7-year-old minors with their 10-year-old sister while the defendant traveled to Miami, Florida for 3 days created a substantial risk of harm to them without adult supervision. The answer is a resounding yes. Let this be a lesson to all you new parents out there. You have a responsibility to raise that creature you made by rubbing fronts with somebody. And you can't just drop everything at a dime to go hang out and see liposuction surgery and across state lines. You need to be a parent. And I know it's hard because you want to party and you miss partying all the time. But guess what? You could still do that. It's called time management and a responsibility to those children that you had. And I don't know why that someone who busts a nut over bed sheets, has more of an idea on how to be responsible with children than people who actually have 7-year-olds. That's embarrassing, but that's how some people like to operate. And if you like the verbal assault that I have given in these past 10 seconds, you can subscribe to the channel where I do this on a Monday to Saturday basis, because on Sundays, I'm watching the Broncos struggle to score a touchdown. Mwah! Goodbye.